Hello and welcome my fellow plastic addicts. Komic here with another edition of Comic's Ideal Wave. For the past couple of weeks we've been looking at Iron Man and seeing all the armors he has in his collection. So like I do with all major characters, I decided to do a new wave based around Iron Man. As usual, the rules for this wave are basically 8 figures per wave. The title character has to be in it. 2 female figures, 2 villain characters, and the 2 villain characters could be female as well. The team for this wave is all tech characters or Iron Man based characters. We start off of course with the title character Iron Man. This time I try and select the 2 versions of Iron Man. One being his classic colour version and another being a variant of his armour in different colours. So let's start off with the older classic colour version. For the classic colour version, I would like them to make the Renaissance armour. This is the armour that Iron Man wore after the Hero's Return arc. And this is one that has been requested by fans for some time. The main reason I want this armour is because it was the armour he was wearing when I started reading comic books. During the time that George Perez had come back to the Avengers and had made it into a successful franchise than it was before. So it holds a special place in my heart because of it. The other version of Iron Man I want is the Superior Iron Man. This is the armour that Iron Man wore during the Axis storyline where he became more of a villain than a hero. This version has been requested by fans since it was first introduced in the comics. Hasbro could even outdo themselves by giving us 2 heads. One is the full mask helmet version and the other one is the semi-uncovered head that was shown in many of the version's covers or in the comic books. Next up we talk about War Machine. It can't be an Iron Man wave without having a War Machine in it. And this is the time, please, for the love of God, make it a comic book accurate version, Hasbro. My recommendation for this is the Dark Reigns version, where the character was more of a cyborg than an actual person. Hasbro has hinted that they want to do the tanked version of that, so maybe make this like Deadpool and give him all attachments and accessories and removable parts, just to make him like that version for the tank version that they want. Now we go on to the 2 female people in this wave, the first being Rescue. The Rescue armor is basically Pepper Potts in a female version of the Iron Man armor. However, instead of using Stark technology, they instead use Rand technology. Rand technology being the company of Daniel Rand, aka Iron Fist. And instead of using repulsor technology, they use magnetic powers instead. Hasbro did release a Rescue figure before to the Marvel Comics Unlimited subscription, so it wasn't available for anyone outside the US. So I think they should release this to the general retail, maybe including that Pepper Pot head that they originally had planned for the figure. The other female character I want in this wave is Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. Long before the former Russian spy became an Avenger, Black Widow was a recurring enemy for Iron Man, before betraying her handlers and joining S.H.I.E.L.D. While I do love the MCU figures that Hasbro has released over the last couple of years, what I want is a comic book accurate Black Widow, maybe based on Mark Waid's comic book version of Black Widow, where she becomes branded a traitor of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now what could make this even better if they give us a swappable head of Yelena Belova, I think it's her name is, so that we could have the 2 characters instead, and it's similar to how they did it in Toy Biz days, but those were released as separate figures instead of swappable heads. Next we're going to talk about the 3 villains I want in this wave. The first being of course the highly almost begging request for the remake of Iron Man's #1 foe, the Mandarin. The 10 alien ring wearer, the Mandarin has been Iron Man's foe practically since his introduction. First wanting to use Stark technology to conquer the world, and then trying to rid the world of technology. Toy Biz did release a Mandarin figure in the Face Off 2-pack, but quite frankly it is one of the worst figures ever. He had a very hard rubber cape, and you couldn't move the figure at all. You could barely move the head as it was. I don't really care what version they release, but I just want Hasbro to give us a proper comic book accurate Mandarin figure that can actually move. Next up is the one I want made into a bigger figure that was made into a Marvel Universe figure, is the Living Laser. Ray Parks was a small-time villain of Iron Man who used gadgets to mimic lasers until he was eventually transformed into a being of living light, or living lasers as the case may be. The Living Laser is one of those characters that seem to have a version of him in most Iron Man cartoons, such as the 90s cartoons, the CGI Armored Avengers cartoon, and he does make an appearance as a villain in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon where Iron Man first guest starred. The version I would love to see is the pink version, that when he was a unwilling minion of the Mandarin and had a bomb implanted into him. I don't know how the Mandarin planned to explode and being a pure light, but whatever. It's the one we have now is actually the MU scale version, so I want a bigger version of that, just to give the wave a bit more colour than the green and yellow version from his first appearance, or the yellow demon-like version that looks like a Nelly, the Avengers villain Nelly. I can't remember his second name. And lastly, for the regular figures, I want Grey Gargoyle. Paul Duval was a chemist whose experiment went wrong, and he transformed himself into living stone and gained the power to turn anyone into stone by touch. While beginning as a Thor villain, which he could actually be in a Thor wave, he moved on to being an Iron Man rogue eventually. Given Hasbro seems to be trying to complete the Mandarin minions from the classic 19s cartoon, I could see a version of him being made eventually, preferably on the Hyperion mold, if not bigger. Now, next up is the Build-A-Figure. I wanted to do Ultimo, but Hasbro doesn't really have a build for that, so I decided to go with the next best character, and that is the Controller. A crippled scientist who wears an exoskeleton that is powered by the minds of his victims that he controls via his control discs. The Controller is actually an easy bath, as it could easily be done using the Thanos build, or if they want to make it even bigger, the Juggernaut build. He should really include some controller discs, but I can live without that as long as we get him made so he can battle Iron Man. Well, that's my ideal wave for Iron Man. What you guys think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What is your ideal wave for Iron Man? If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. That really helps me out. Go over to our website where I'm currently holding a poll to see who will be the first NCS of 2017. Also, please go to Marvelous News and check out the Best of 2016 nominees thread, where you can enter your nominees for the upcoming Best of 2016 Marvel Legends, which I'll be doing in 2 weeks. Links to those are in the description below. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Google+. I'll be back next week where we do a top 10 most wanted Marvel characters for 2016 that I want made in 2017. So I'll see you when I see you.